Wow, she laughed coldly. He really did pick the first pretty thing that blinked at him. I froze. Her voice echoed in the middle of the restaurant, loud enough for everyone to hear. I could feel their eyes scanning me, judging, weighing my dress, my silence, my ring. Chloe, my fiancé's sister, didn't stop there. She's not even from here, right? She scoffed. Figures. A transplant sniffing around for a rich husband. Classic LA. She sipped her wine like it was just another Tuesday. Like she didn't just slice me open with her words. I sat still. My hands curled into fists in my lap. My fiancé, Mark, tried to laugh it off. Chloe, come on. But she just smirked at him, then tilted her head at me. I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. I looked at Mark. He didn't defend me. Not really. And just like that, dessert arrived, creme brulee on fire, like my cheeks. No one said a word. Just clinking spoons and awkward silence. I bit mine too hard, felt the crack in my tooth, but didn't flinch. Inside, something cracked deeper. And I knew this wasn't the first time. It was just the first time she said it out loud. Before Mark, I was used to being invisible, not in the sad, movie montage way, but in the real life, no one remembers your birthday way. I grew up in a small town in Indiana. My mom worked double shifts at a diner, and my dad left when I was 8. I was the quiet one, the helper. Teachers loved me because I followed rules. My mom depended on me because I didn't cause problems. But no one saw me. Not when I won the state science fair in 8th grade. Not when I got accepted into UCLA on a scholarship. Not when I worked 2 jobs to stay afloat in college. Even when I walked the graduation stage with honors, no one from my family came. I met Mark during a summer internship at an architecture firm in downtown LA. He was already on track to become partner, confident, polished old money. The kind of man who'd never even seen a laundromat. And yet he noticed me. He brought me coffee one morning, remembered how I took it, took me to rooftop lunches, and asked about my dreams. I didn't fall in love quickly. I've never trusted easy. But he stayed. He listened. He made space for me. Still, his world always felt borrowed. His family was a different galaxy. Dinner parties where they said summer as a verb. Art pieces worth more than my entire student loan debt. And Chloe, she made it clear I was merely passing through. Sweet dress, she once said with a smile. Zara, right? Mark always brushed it off. That's just how Chloe is. But it was always Chloe. The underhanded jabs. The fake compliments. The moments when her friends asked if I was in fashion or something, like that's the only lane pretty girls can be in. I tried to blend in, to rise to their level. I read their books, practiced my pronunciation, even bought a secondhand Chanel bag just to shut her up. But it never mattered. To them, I was always trying too hard. To me, I was trying just enough to be loved back. 3 days after the dinner, Mark's mother called. Danielle, sweetheart, she began, all syrup and silk. We're having a small engagement brunch this weekend. Just close family. I'm sure you understand. I blinked at my phone. I'm sorry, are you saying I'm not invited? A pause. It's just emotions are high. Chloe's still upset from the restaurant. We don't want tension. Let's just give things space to breathe. I sat down on my apartment floor. My stomach clenched. But it's for our engagement. I know. But sometimes it's best to avoid unnecessary friction. I didn't respond. She filled the silence. You'll have your moment at the wedding, dear. The call ended with a vague promise about circling back. I stared at my phone, the screen gone black. My engagement ring caught the sunlight, too bright for how I felt. I didn't tell Mark right away. When I finally did, 2 days later, he rubbed his temples like I was the problem. They just need time, he muttered. Chloe's been through a lot lately. So have I said quietly. He looked up. Babe, it's not personal. That was the moment. Right there. Those 4 words. It wasn't just Chloe. It wasn't just the brunch. It was him. He didn't defend me. He didn't stand up to them. He didn't believe I deserved a seat at the table I helped build. And I realized, maybe I was the one who needed space now. I didn't cry. Not right away. I packed the ring back in its velvet box and placed it gently on Mark's dresser while he was out jogging. I didn't leave a note. I didn't text. I didn't block him. I just stepped away. I stopped answering his mother's polite guilt trap emails. I left the group chat Chloe had added me to just for planning. I withdrew my portion of the deposit on the venue. Quietly. Without drama. I didn't post on Instagram. Didn't make some cryptic story about knowing your worth. I didn't need the world to clap for me. I just disappeared from theirs. I moved back into my old studio apartment in Silver Lake. The one with the creaky windows and too loud fridge. It felt like home again. I started walking every evening. No destination, just movement. Each step pulling me further from a version of myself I had bent too far to maintain. One night, as I deleted Mark's number from my favorites list, I caught my reflection in the darkened screen. For the first time, my silence wasn't fear, it was freedom. I didn't owe them noise. I didn't owe them closure. And I didn't owe them access to me anymore. Sometimes the loudest thing you can say is nothing at all. It had been a month. No calls. No messages. Just silence. The kind that feels like peace when you finally stop trying to earn your place in someone else's life. Then, I got a Facebook message. From someone I didn't know. Jessica Monroe, Chloe's college roommate. Hi Danielle, it read. This might be random, but I felt like I needed to reach out. I hesitated. My finger hovered over the delete button. But something in me said read it. I was at that dinner. I was sitting next to Chloe. I saw everything. She continued. I just want to say I'm sorry. The way they treated you? It wasn't right. Chloe told everyone you were a gold digger, that you latched onto Mark for money. But that night, the way you stayed quiet, the way you didn't fight back even when she was cruel, it said a lot more about you than it did about her. I swallowed. I work in nonprofit finance, she added. I looked you up. Your resume is impressive. You're not a gold digger. You're a woman who worked hard. They were just intimidated. Then came the part that stuck with me. She used to talk about you before she met you. Said you had the vibe of someone who didn't need anyone. I think that scared her. She's never had to earn anything. I stared at the message for a long time. Validation, not from a lover, not from family, not even from a friend, but from someone who saw the truth from the outside, with no reason to lie. She ended her message with, if it means anything, I believed in you that night. I still do. And just like that, the illusion cracked. Maybe I wasn't what they said. Maybe I was something more. 3 days after Jessica's message, I got a text from an unfamiliar number.
Hey.
It's Chloe.
Can we talk?
I stared at it for a while, blinking in disbelief. The same Chloe who had called me a gold digger in front of her friends. The same Chloe who orchestrated my humiliation. I didn't reply. The next day, an email from Mark landed in my inbox. Subject: Let's reset. He wrote like nothing had happened. Like we'd had a little argument, a tiny misunderstanding. I think things got out of hand, he wrote. Chloe didn't mean what she said. You know how she gets when she drinks. Maybe we could all sit down and clear the air. Clear the air? As if my dignity had been some minor fog to wave away. Then came the kicker. Also, could you take down that photo of you in the dress from the tasting? It's just my mom's been getting questions.
Ah.
There it was. It wasn't about me. It was about their image, their shame, their optics. I didn't reply to Mark either. But a few hours later, I received a follow-up message from Chloe, longer this time. Carefully worded, full of things like, we didn't mean to hurt you. You're still welcome at the wedding if you want. Let's not let a single night ruin everything. They didn't apologize because they realized they were wrong. They reached out because someone else had noticed. Someone outside their curated little bubble had seen the truth. And now they wanted me back inside, not because they missed me, but because they needed control. They had lost it, and they knew it. The message came late at night. A voicemail from Jessica. I hadn't given her my number. She must have found it through LinkedIn. At first, I thought about ignoring it, but something told me to listen. I pressed play. Her voice was soft, almost hesitant at first. Hey, Danielle. I hope this doesn't feel weird. I just wanted to say something that's been on my mind since that dinner, and after I saw your name pop up again, I couldn't stay silent. She paused, took a breath. You probably don't remember me much, but I remember you. I remember when I was a broke student and you bought everyone coffee at that alumni brunch. No big speech, no need for thanks. You just did it because someone needed it. That caught me off guard. And when my grandma was sick last year, I didn't even know you were one of the donors who helped cover her medical fundraiser. Chloe told me it was just someone Mark knew. But it was you. I found her name on the donor list. Tears welled up in my eyes. I wish I'd spoken up sooner. I'm sorry I didn't. I guess I was scared to make waves. But I want you to know you matter. Not just for what you give, but who you are. There was a pause, and then the part that broke something open inside me. You didn't just save my grandma's life, you reminded her she mattered. And tonight, I just wanted to return the favor. I sat there in the dark, phone still pressed to my ear long after the message ended. No spotlight. No applause. Just someone remembering and returning kindness. I didn't realize how much I needed to be seen until I finally was. Not for what I could offer. Not for the man I was dating. Not for appearances. Just for me. That voicemail? It stitched together something in my heart I didn't know was torn. A week later, I heard a knock at my door. Not a text. Not a call. A real, physical knock. When I peeked through the peephole, my heart sank a little, and then settled. It was Mark. He wasn't alone. Chloe stood beside him, arms folded, trying to appear casual in an outfit too coordinated to be unplanned. I opened the door just enough to step outside and close it gently behind me. Hey, Mark said, giving me that familiar smile, the one he wore at fundraisers, smooth and measured. Can we talk? I didn't say anything. Chloe chimed in. We just want to move on, she said quickly. Put this all behind us. We've all said things. I looked at her, then at him, and I realized I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't even hurt. I was just done. I shook my head softly. I'm not coming to the wedding, I said. Mark's smile faltered. Chloe's mouth opened, as if to protest. No need to explain, Mark started. I'm not explaining, I said.
Calm. Kind even.
I'm just saying no. Silence. They stood there, unsure of what to say now that the script they rehearsed didn't fit the scene. I hope it's a beautiful day, I added. Then I turned and walked back inside. I didn't slam the door. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just closed it.
Softly. Cleanly.
Finally. For once, I didn't need to justify myself to people who only saw my worth through their own broken lens. Saying no wasn't revenge. It was release. And it felt like peace. People think closure comes with answers, with apologies, with dramatic confessions. But sometimes, the most powerful closure is silence. No yelling, no revenge, just choosing yourself fully, finally, without flinching. For years, I tried to prove I wasn't what they called me. A gold digger, a hanger-on, someone chasing a man instead of building a life. But the truth is, I never had to prove anything, because I was never the problem. I was just the mirror, and they hated their reflection. To anyone watching this who's ever been misjudged, mislabeled, or misunderstood, you don't have to shrink to fit their comfort. You don't have to argue your worth to people who benefit from doubting it. And you definitely don't have to show up to a table where your name is only whispered in disrespect. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away with nothing but your peace and your power. Let them talk. Let them spin. Let them wonder how they lost access to the very thing they once mocked.
You.